Now, what we did with this Think protocol is that we actually started grading our front desk team, our guest communicators, if you will, every month. Me and my partners, my wife included, and my other partner who's since long back from maternity leave, her husband, we would literally just take a day, sit through and just comb through communications. And it was yes or no for every aspect, right? Were you timely? Yes or no. Were you helpful? Did you solve the issue? Yes or no, right? For a while, I would ask every guest comm agent with frequency, define helpful for me, until everyone said the same thing every time. It's when you actually solve the issue that the guest is bringing to you. Implied or expressed, that's part of it too, key part. Sometimes they just imply an issue, the way that they speak to you. Other times they're pretty direct and express about it, right? Solve it, right? So now it's time to grade them on how well they're doing. So we would just parse through the conversations and we would each just be grading them out of 5 stars, because THINK is 5 things that you can get a yes or a no on. So we would grade them on them every month for an entire day. And then we would distribute these grades. And then we would bonus the ones that got the highest rating, right? I think someone got like a 4.2 one month, like very impressive. And there's one that's won almost every bonus challenge we've done every month. And then a couple that have really risen through. We had one girl that started one month and she had like a 2.6 and she just won last month's bonus challenge. It genuinely positively affected the way that they were communicating with guests and dealing with the issues that guests brought to them. Now, I know this is a long story because it happened over several months, and I want to give you as much value and detail as I can about, how we dealt with this, how you deal with affecting positive guest experiences at scale. That's what you're getting here, right? It was easy when it was just my wife and it was a small number of reservations, like good reviews, they just happened. Like we literally took it for granted. We didn't even notice it, right? It was, yeah, we got 4.9, of course we did, right? Like, why wouldn't we? And so when they really started to decline, and like we realized we got to figure out how to do this at scale, right? This is a growth problem. It's a good problem. We've grown a lot, but it is a problem. So this is how you do it at scale if you have any intentions to grow. It worked, right? So Think protocol, that's a big one. And then the entire upper leadership of my business was behind it, pushing it, incentivizing people to do it, and it freaking worked, all right? One other big issue though. So there were, kind of 3 big things in terms of like fixing my house, all right? One was installing the OMs. So I wasn't so pulled into every little itty bitty problem that pops up throughout the day. 2 was just reinventing the way that we communicated with our guests and dealt with the issues that they brought to us. All right. Number 3 was then using more brain power of our team. So before we really grew, pretty much everything had to go through my wife. Everyone, including her, wanted to be very involved in the details of everything going on with guests and the properties. Okay. And if you made a bad decision without permission to make a decision at all, there was a repercussion. And so anytime some sticky issue popped up, it was like a hot potato, all right? And instead of me being the one constantly having to catch these hot potatoes, it was now just our operational managers, right? Our day-to-day managers catching these hot potatoes, and they were inundated. They were overwhelmed, right? We had just replaced the person that was being overwhelmed, but we didn't replace the overwhelm problem to begin with. And so I actually I stole this idea from that book, Buying Back Your Time. I listened to what he said and I was like, I need that so bad because I just see this all the time, right? Our guest would say, hey, this guest is having this problem at the property, period, as a statement to our operational manager. And our operational manager would have like 5 of these problems that were just dumped into their lap. And then the guest comm team was just dealing with all the non-problems, right? We have, 30 reservations happening right now today. 12 of them are checking in, and everything that's going easy and according to plan, that's all they want to deal with. Anytime some little problem pops up, let me hand that off to my manager, right? So I didn't come up. Again, I said I stole it. I started using the 1-3-1 protocol. Before you can bring anything to another team member, including a manager, especially a manager, 1 clearly defined issue. Don't give me a whole story. 1 or 2 sentences. What is the actual problem? 3 practical solutions. Before you bring this to a manager in particular, or anyone else in general, you need to have a very clear and short descript understanding of the problem and 3 ideas to solve it, practical ideas. And finally, you need 1 recommendation, right? Out of those 3, what's your recommendation? This open, oh, and by the way, I would also tell people, like, it's okay if you fail. I'd rather you make a bad decision than no decision. And I repeated that. I would show up to the huddle meetings that would happen throughout the day. There's at least one daily where the entire frontline team gets together and they just chat about how the day's going and what they need from each other. And I would pop into those and I would express that. And I would make sure my managers were expressing that. And anytime they brought a problem to me or they brought a problem to my manager, we'd kick it right back. I don't understand what this is, define it better, and then come up with 131, 131, 131. It became a habit so quick. It turns out that when you let people use their brain, they can, right? Like they actually have one. And so we just opened up the brain power of our business and made everyone responsible for solving. If you run into a problem, you are responsible for it. If you're gonna hand it off, you gotta do a minimum level of work before you hand it off, right? It's not a hot potato anymore. Observe it, find out what it is, come up with a few solutions, and if you're not the one that should be executing those solutions, right on, hand it to the person that should be, and give them a recommendation along with it. I found this problem, I think I got a few ways to fix it, this is my favorite one, here you go. That is the right way to deal with problems. We don't even say 131 anymore, it's like a non-issue now. People get it. They don't bring me a problem if you've done no work to solve it. They get it, they don't do it anymore. So that's gone a long way to fix my in-house issues. Now, other people's houses, at the end of the day, our number one complaint from guests who are, when you have a 4.2 average, that means you have, right? Like it still means you have mostly 5-star reviews, like 70%, right? But then you have 30% that are like 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, all right? A couple 4 stars in the mix, obviously. And the most of the time, it was because cleaning. The house wasn't as clean as their expectation, as their expectation. Just wasn't that clean.